0, so we'll see what Ast can do in this war. But I think it's going to be a hard struggle because Absolute Zero likely have been watching Strut over the last few days, trying to find ways to take them down, and we're going to see what kind of defenses they can bring to the table. It is Uzi kicking it off, coming in with the Super P.E.K.K.A Smash here. Again, we have, instead of bringing in Super Bowlers, we've got those Super Wizards. But we need to see the big push coming in, and an interesting start as we bring in the Blimp. See if this is going to be the Yeti Blimp to take on that multi-targeting Inferno, shape up the base, and quickly align any possible flank issue for those healers in particular as we work our way towards a Town Hall.
Yeah, it's really interesting to, again, see the defensive side of every single team, because we have not seen Strut today so far. If I remember correctly, Absolute Zero were running under 3-star style bases, but Strut seems to be the second team now running those legend style bases. No ring bases like we reported, but they're using those box style bases, so like the bases which are evolving from the box bases, because at this point, you cannot really see a box base anymore. It's like they're becoming their own style now. So let's see how good this is going to work. So far, funneling a lot, trying to get the queen back inside. But with the skeleton trap, oh, that was just barely that this invisibility spell running out. But he got things right, and now he needs to start this P.E.K.K.A smash from the other side, because at this point, it's only 1 minute and 40 seconds left.
Yeah, this needs the time to come in. These smash style attacks typically do run out of time, with the exception of the Super Bowler that tends to be the faster one. It's an interesting approach because typically we do see the log launchers coming in with this, opting to go for the Yeti Blimp, which leads the jump into that Town Hall compartment. But once he's in here, everything is open, but nothing is taking the jump except a couple of Super Wizards who have no protection. This is, wait, but it is open. It's still open on the outside edge, so the jump is wasted, but there is the connection coming in. The only problem is that he's losing these Super Wizards. Healer's trying to keep them alive, freezes up the single and the Giga Inferno to try and give this the power coming through. And he does have cleanup spread around with the P.E.K.K.A and the Witches, so this actually could turn back around with the abilities he still has intact.
Yeah, especially now with the Royal Champion coming in from the bottom side. Springtrap right away for those Hog Riders, but he has the possibility of still finishing strong with the Royal Champion deployed so late into the attack. 35 seconds, Witches on the outside. They're so good for cleaning things up and doing quick work of those defense on the outside. And it's going to be a 3-star. Uzi showing off really, really nicely how to attack those bases. And that's like the problem with those box type bases. They're typically kind of weak versus those smash attacks. And Uzi, even though his entire army pretty much walked around with those openings where you try to deny wall breaks and everything, this makes your bases still a bit weaker again against those ground attacks, like those smash attacks, because troops can walk back inside where you did not really expect it.
Yeah, that definitely was a saving grace in this one, and a nice recovery at that. So this might put some pressure on Strut to perform, because I wonder if they were hoping to see a defensive start going into this war. It does mean that they need to put the 3-star on the board leading off, and I'm not sure quite who we're going to see. We used to see Ast coming in a lot with the super drag attacks as a starting off point, because it's one of the easier approaches, but we have been seeing a lot of switch up coming in from Strut lately. They've been playing around with a lot of different strategies, even seeing Yo-Yo coming in with spam, and we started calling him Spamo23 and E-Drags, and just we've seen a lot of mix-ups here, so not quite sure what to expect, but it seems like they've been prepping for anything and everything. But I still don't know if Absolute Zero is going to bring those right bases to the game. And it is going to be Tryhard actually starting this one off with the Flame Flinger Queen Charge Drag Rider.
Yeah, and that's something which we don't see too often. But having the Earthquake as well for that Town Hall. Town Hall already activated though, so he doesn't even need that Earthquake, so he can save that for later stages. The Queen is getting pushed around into that Eagle compartment. Things are looking good for him. There was, I think, an Ice Golem or something, or like a freeze going off to make sure the Flameflinger is staying alive, because this Flameflinger has to get that town, and that's like the purpose. And we have seen already early on the giant bomb on the outside around that Flameflinger. And now the Queen is having to push at the same time into that Eagle compartment. Eagle taken down, so you can get started with like King and other things without anything getting activated, which is great. And now the Queen keep diving forward with the King on the outside, because, I mean, dragons are taking anything, right? So you have to use something to funnel them. Ooh. And this is what the King is for in this one.
That Flameflinger just getting the Town Hall down and will open up with the additional rocket loons coming in. That was mighty close. Queen's got the charge along to keep those drags moving on course. We've got the drag riders actually to support, so a bit more of a Hydra in the mix with a straight line power through. Rocket loons maybe not getting as much value as we would have liked to have seen, but the King trying to force along the outside edge and helping to pick up the outside Tesla farm and those skellies. Queen struggling though, has her ability at least to force through and taking off some of the damage from that scatter shot from these dragons as they make their approach in.
Yeah, especially the King just luring away this Lava Hound on defense from those dragons and from the Queen. It's giving them even more power, more freedom to actually push through the back end. The Royal Champion now on offense, taking down the scatter as well. That should be the first 3-star as well for Strut. Beautiful attack right there with the Queen charge Dragon Rider attack. So nicely done. And that's something which I think is really, really cool, because we have seen so many Lalo attacks and everything. So seeing something different, and as well then Super Dragons, so seeing something different in an approach is really nice to see. And Strut tryhard coming in with the different approach, making sure that he's starting things off strong for Strut, especially considering that I just cannot get over it. The average stars were 14.5 in the Swiss system, which is an insane number and should be by far the highest number for any of the teams. At the same time, though, Booms told me that their defense, they were not happy with their defense. At the same time, while they were being the best team on offense, they're as well kind of the worst team on defense then around as well, which isn't the goal for especially going into this knockout stage and this playoff stage. So we have to see if they turn things around, able to defend Absolute Zero. Otherwise, it's going to come down to nerves and maybe like one small mistake like we have seen in our first match today, which ended on 15-14 with a 2% difference, which was incredibly close. So let's see what it's going to be, if the bases are holding strong or if some more nerves are going to come into the match as well, and we have to wait for that.
And some risky attacks. I mean, we've seen players switching it up like Synthe, and when you do that, when you're trying to switch up the approach, or, you know, try and go up against spaces that you're not necessarily used to having to go up against, which matches your attack strategy, that's where it does make a difference. And the same goes for Tryhard. I mean, we often see him with the Queen Charge Lalos or Zapquake Lalos. So this is a slightly different approach, but we have been seeing the team switching it up here and there. Absolute Zero, though, we have been seeing coming in mighty strong. It's the defenses that I think we question the most, because I don't think we get to see quite enough of them in the lineups. So this is where they certainly could impress today. And we do have Chichin coming in with the log launcher Lalo. So we're going to push our heroes coming in, but we aren't going to use the Warden. We're going to use this Warden to work in with a Lalo, since we've got 30 loons in the lineup. Just want to push our way through the core, clear out the multi-targeting Inferno and some of the heroes in the core of the base, and create a nice path for the Lalo portion.
Yeah, but again, you have said it, it's such a risky attack, because if this log launcher is not getting the value you need, it is going to be a horrible scenario right there. But he's starting things off really early with that Lalo, even the Earthquake into the core, to make sure that he's getting this opening done, getting his Queen deeper into that core. The Lalo started from this far right side. The Warden not deployed yet. Maybe you're too scared of the Warden not following or something. Maybe he forgot it. Oh, he forgot about it. No, the Warden's not following. Warden, come on. Ooh. He forgot the Warden. And this means now the Warden is stuck on the far side with those minions. And now it's all about, can he take down the Town Hall? Because the Warden is not going to come close to actually follow those loons. And the entire Town Hall is stacked with those Tesla. And this means some big problems.
He's got the Queen. He has the Yeti. Use the invisibility spell, holding onto the Queen ability to get in here and get that Town Hall taken down. The Warden can still help through with the Yeti on the backside, but the Queen's going for everything but. If you can line this up right, the Warden and the ability and the Queen right inside there will get this Town Hall taken down and recover it. He doesn't even use the Warden ability. Why are we swagging it coming through? Get that Warden ability off. Keeps her safe through the Poison Bomb. 57 seconds left to go. We've still got a Yeti up top. We've got the minions trying to take care of the cleanup, and there are no more air targeting defenses. So these minions could actually get it done, but the question is time, especially with the Warden. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, the face cam, it's so good how he's celebrating. I mean, is it kind of close because of the skeletons? I feel like time is a problem. I mean, I don't know. It feels like he... Oh my god, what is he doing? Yeah, 20 more seconds, and I think time is going to be the biggest issue right there for him. The Warden is coming short, and he's trying to keep showing us how crazy of a save this was. It's 7 seconds left, and is it going to be a 3? He's not even watching.
There we go, the 3-star from Chijin. That is going to be the most epic recovery we have seen yet. I mean, just... I don't even know if he knew if it was going to happen, but he was egging it on. Absolutely phenomenal, and we've got a war on our hands, Itsu, because if it's coming down this close, the defense, like, how do you swag your Warden like that and still come in with the 3-star?
I mean, to be honest, the plan itself was really OP. I mean, the heroes took down so much value around their tops that the Queen surviving for so long. And I think one key to the success was actually that he started his Lalo so early. So getting things right there with the Queen, and then the Unicorn switching to the Warden, and the Warden ability to keep the Unicorn alive. I mean, that was just a crazy attack. And let's hope that Strut is not too disappointed, because to be honest, as a base builder, I would be probably kind of mad at this point that this is still going through. But now we have the attack from Musk, and the first wall breaker is not working, which means the export compartment is not getting open, and I think he wanted to have that open.
Yeah, Strut at this point has to kind of throw back that frustration on what they would have thought was going to be a defense there for themselves, hyping them up. So they've got to stay calm, cool, and collected if they want to keep toe-to-toe against Absolute Zero, who has an absolutely dominating performance so far. Queen charging her way through, taking on that scatter shot, has nice open range to lead her way into the multi, and we still need to lead access getting into that Town Hall compartment. So the way we go about it is bringing in the log launcher, getting our way through, nice deep line drive, and it's going to be the Lalo that's going to have to help support as the King takes on the Eagle compartment. So we'll see the Lalo likely coming in from the scatter shot area down at the 9 o'clock side of the base.
Yeah, Lock Launcher still going strong. King and Royal Champion from their top side. Nice, taking down the Eagle. So he does not need to worry about that anymore. And Queen going strong as well.
Nice pickup of the traps. Those loons coming out, soaking up, but the Drag Rider also taking it to the face there. So that means the single stands. He's got the freeze to hold this off. He's got a couple actually, but does poison up those super minions. Queen does not need to burn through her ability and does not need to waste a rage, but might want to consider using the freeze for the Warden Tower, which packs that nasty punch. Here we go with a Lalo as well, and drops the invisibility spell for the Royal Champion to take down the multi in the core, keeping a nice course of path for this Laloon. This is looking good so far, especially with the abilities intact here.
Yeah, that Queen taking down the town was nice as well. Even having another freeze left is a really nice thing. And now it's all about those loons dodging the town or poison, which they're doing. That Royal Champion with their last ability as well, getting things right. And that air defense is going to fall as well. Another 3-star in Strut, showing that they're coming to play, that they're here to take that victory. But at the same time, so far, both teams perfect, 6-6. And I think this match is really coming up to the hype of this rematch of the Swiss stage right here. And let's hope that, that the next attack for F-Zero is not as close, even though it was really entertaining. I still don't know how he actually saw that to play start, because I felt like it was kind of close. But he was celebrating quite early, getting excited. But now we have F-Zero in next, and let's see what crazy masterpieces they have next on the menu for us to watch.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the funnest wars to watch with what we have so far coming in. The highs, the lows, the convincing 3 stars, especially coming in from Mask. That was definitely a beautiful approach coming in. We often see different ways of using these Queen Charge log launchers. More custom, I think people are used to seeing them with the drag riders, but you can get big value on these quadrant style bases where you have the split value between the town halls, the scatter shots, the eagles, and just launch your queen down towards a town hall, get the big value from the king, and take a small compartment with your Lalo and take it down quite that easy. I mean, that's a tough thing with defense right now, is the massive amount of combinations of strategies that we have, because it's really difficult to defend against every single one of these approaches that you can come in with, especially with the power of the heroes.
Yeah, that's right. There's so many different strategy compositions which you can choose, and we have another legend style base with an interesting tunnel compartment. So let's see how that one is going to defend. We have that eagle on the far right side with those air defense as well in the second row. We already have the lock launcher. Wait, the flame flinger is in, but it's in range of that arch tower. That's not looking good for Takana. He might lose that flame flinger right away. And there's another mortar as well, so the flame flinger is going to lose a lot of hit points. He's trying to tank the mortar with the barbarian, really smart move, but still a lot of hit points are gone from the siege machine.
Yeah, and this means it's not going to necessarily be able to take out the scatter shot itself, but what do we have to come in from it? We've got the loons taking the lead and the drag rider that needs to come through, and that should be enough. Maybe if the air defense doesn't take it down, the loons in the safe zone, so it gets most of what it wanted, but maybe not as much as it possibly could have. Queen's in a really good position to wrap her way around. We've got one additional super wall breaker to try and open up the compartment in the core of the base, get to that multi, and start our Lalo through the town hall position. Let's see if we can get that lined up just right. Rage coming in, which is a perfect opportunity to send in the super wall breaker and get the pass coming through, but the king did not take down the eagle, and that's going to be problematic because that's going to continue to fire away now.
Yeah, not taking down the eagle is a really big problem, especially like the hero value, like the king value overall was just really little. Considering how powerful those heroes are, that was not a lot. He's now starting with that Lalo, with the Warden, into that tower compartment, not reaching that 50% just yet, which means the tower is not activated yet. So he needs to be careful with that. The Royal Champion now coming into the multi-inferno tower compartment in the core as well. Now, finally, the 50% is reached. The Warden ability is getting used. But there's the Tornado Trap, keeping those loons in the Town of Poison, which means they are all about to go down with just that Queen left. This should be the first defense of this match. The Queen is getting raged again. There's going to be a couple of more supportive troops, but that single Inferno Tower is not even going down. And with that, it's all about for Takana to save the percentage, save as many percentage as he might get to make sure that percentage is on the side of the F-Zero squad for the end. But that attack, I think it was pretty much just the king. King not getting the value he was looking for, and we know how powerful those heroes are, like what value you're like counting them on to get. And this really was then a big game changer for the Queen Charge.
It really was, and you know, the multitasking that had to go along, because knowing that he didn't get the value that he needed and had to adjust while he got the Lalo going does put a little bit of distraction on when you're timing that Warden ability, which is critical, especially knowing that there are the possibility of those tornado traps that are going to sweep you back through. So I got to give a huge kudos to Kana for handling that really well and keeping the percent as high as it is with the 88%. Obviously not quite as high as they would like to see, but this still could keep them in the mix if they can bring in some defense, which they've shown they can do. It just depends on how much they can do it. And we still have Ast, Boom, and Yo-Yo to attack, I believe. So we'll have to see if there's going to be any slip-ups and what these guys are actually bringing along to the mix today. But we also have Komakun, who I'm still interested to see, because we've got those MVP players that we want to keep an eye on. Ast for Strut and Komakun for Absolute Zero here.
Yeah, and Boom is next with a Skelly Donut bat. Okay. What do you call it? Jelly Belly something?
The Skelly Jelly Donut. We've got the bats, the Skellies in the court.
That's what I said.
It looks like a, yeah, it looks like a Skelly, like a jelly donut right inside there, and gets the value that he intended. We did get the multi in the core. We did get the CC, so he opens up what he needs to connect to the town hall. We want to create these adjoining compartments to work together to shape up the path for our Lalos or our Hogs, whatever we want to come in. In this case, it is going to be for the Lalo.
Yeah, and with some of those sets that are right in front of the town hall, it's going to be light a little bit, and he needs to be careful with that queen. Even invest another freeze into that defending warden, because it's dealing so much damage to those heroes. So the queen in this specific case, with the king and the royal champion taking down the defending royal champion and the defending scatter, and the Lalo starting right away. This is like what's so important, is to share the damage and make sure that the king tanking is not wasted. Instead, he's starting with that Lalo right away into that eagle side. And this, so far as an entry, is looking really good. And he's not even deployed the warden yet. Most likely, yep, from this bottom side to get those headhunters with the warden ability as quickly as possible into the defending queen.
Yeah, this is why we often see these pushes from the side edge and not coming from the top of the base. It helps to keep it connected nicely together. Queen is down, Loon's working beautifully. We've got the haste to try and sweep through. Would be good to try and sweep across into the Wizard Tower, especially with the pushback from the Air Sweeper. But we still have the Stone Slimer to come into play. He just lost a lot of Loons in the mix of this, and he knows he's got the power to continue on. I just wouldn't want to risk it in this scenario, knowing that the single still stands. We've got the Drag Rider to help out. And here comes the haste to try and force everything along. Cleanup looking good. He is happy. Fist pumps in the air, and boom, gets it done with, what are we? I think everybody wants it to be the Jelly Belly. The Jelly Belly donut.
I mean,
coming in.
Would be a funny name for it. But I think let's just switch the topic again, okay? But no, like, really nice attack from Boom right there, coming with the Jelly Belly in the beginning to take down the town hall, take down the Clan Castle and Inferno Tower as well. But yeah, Absolute Zero now needs to keep the pressure high, or like at least stay inside this match pressure-wise, because there's just so much on the line, obviously, and falling behind versus Strut is never a thing you would like to do, especially just taking a look at the history of the last few years, of the last 2 years actually. Both times Strut, back then Alternate, both times won their first golden ticket. So it is not easy to come up against them already, but especially with like knowing this fact as well. So they have to bring it all, and they have to come up with crazy strategies to beat those bases, especially those really annoying looking legend anti-2 style-ish bases. So let's see what we see next from them, and what type of base we see next from Strut.
Absolutely. I think Strut's been preparing for this, but we talked about it earlier too. You know, Strut actually had a little bit more of an advantage over Absolute Zero, who had to fight a match already and burn some bases to get in here. So Strut obviously has the advantage of having extra bases if they were to win to go forward. So that gives them a position of saying, you know, like, where do they want to save these for? But still, there's that team that has been very unknown to players, and Boom said it in the interview that we saw over on the COC Esports Twitter page, and that is Pyromania, that a lot of people did not expect. They did not see them coming. That came in the first seed. Absolutely stunning performance, and I think today all eyes are going to be on them to see how they're going to try and defend. But let's see what Morio can do, because they need the 3 stars coming in and try and find a way to defend against Strut. We've got the Queen Charge Log Launcher Hog. We talked about it. There are many ways you can go about these Queen Charge Log Launcher pushes when you get a nice line drive to the Town Hall on the outskirts. And with the hogs, you don't have to pat them quite as close-knit as you do with the hybrids, because the miners are the ones that spreads. The hogs go for those defenses, but you want to get maximum value out of your heal, and he only has 1 in the mix and the Warden ability to use with that.
Yeah, so it's really heavy on that charge side with those rages. So many rages in this attack. So he needs to make sure that he's making it count. He is getting out of the value he needs. And so far, no lock launcher yet. So where is the lock launcher getting used? That's the question. Or is he just relying on that queen maybe to get through the wall? No. Now we have the lock launcher coming in. He waited for the clan castle to come out. And actually there's super minions in there. We know them. They like to deal a lot of damage, so you need to be careful. Another rage is needed to make sure this queen is staying alive. Meanwhile, we have that king getting pushed into this far right side, and he's not even waiting for the king. He's just going straight with those hog riders into the eagle compartment as well. And that means with so many hogs now swarming the base, he just needs to make sure that this one heal is getting placed perfectly. But there goes the queen ability.
Ooh, there are all those traps, and this is why we typically bring in some extra healers into the mix. But we've got the Ice Golem actually to help freeze up a nice radius, keep that queen alive, keep those healers safe. Hog's doing some good work, speeding through the back end of the base as the Royal Champ hangs on to her ability, and the King has his ability intact in here as well. Morio's in a good spot. Healers, though, gonna be subject to that multi, which does go down to the Hog, so they do survive. And this is looking like a done deal for Morio with the 3-star as everything converges together here at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, what an attack. I love to see those different attacks coming in. Queen charge, Hog Rider, let's go right there. Coming in with a beautiful charge and finishing off with so many Hog Riders swarming that eagle. The king just for tanking purposes and obviously taking down the defending king. So overall, a really, really nice plan. And with that, they're right behind Strut. So Strut, only one small mistake, and they're already tied. So a lot of pressure on Strut. They want to keep that lead, obviously. And, I mean, as you have said, we have still a lot of good attackers from their side to attack. And let's see how they can do. And especially, as you have said it, with the storyline of the MVPs, Ast has yet to attack, and we have to wait and see what he's coming up. If he's going Super Dragon, or if he's going Crazy Lalo, or something different. So we have to wait for that for sure.
We definitely do. Often when we see Ast coming in with those super drags, he takes that first lead approach because it's the easiest one to contend with. So I almost tend to think we might see something different, but that doesn't mean he's not going to come in with some of those risky super drag attacks that drive me absolutely batty. So we'll wait and see what he has in store. But we also want to keep an eye on Komo-kun as well, who has gone perfect. He was 5 for 5 coming into this, also picked up a triple in his previous war today. So he has stayed perfect in his run and doing phenomenally well. Absolute Zero definitely showing a good performance going up against Strut, who they did already face and lost against. They just need to see if they can hold the defense coming through. And it's Ast, and he is coming in with the super drags, but we've got some bats here, which makes me suspect we're going to use it for some possible distraction. Wait. Are we going to use it for Skelly? Wait. Jelly Belly Donut?
Let's go. We invented a new strategy. That's how easy it is, right? You just need to come up with a crazy army strategy name, and yeah, but the value is incredible. Taking down 2 Inferno Towers and that tank castle as well. I believe even like another Expo or something. So really good value already. Taking down now the Town Hall with the Flame Flinger. What are you wishing for otherwise? Like getting all of the value in. And now we have those Super Dragons swarming the base from the bottom side. Early warn ability, as you typically do with the Super Dragons. And then the Queen and the King in a second to push them back into that eagle compartment. The Town Hall is falling. The defending Warden should fall soon as well. And that Flame Flinger has still half of its hit point, which means it's going to clear out a really far, like a really big part of this top side as well. And the heroes are in. Only Royal Champion left to deploy, and already the majority of this base gone.
Yeah, you know, I know there are a lot of people out there who say, you know, nerf super drags, but the one thing, and they don't like to see it, but the one thing about the super drag attack is there's so many different ways to go about it. But Ast yet again shows the creativity that you can bring with it. The Flame Flinger in connection with the Skelly Jelly Belly Donut coming in. The maximum value that he got out of that and the pathing that he created for these super drags is just absolutely phenomenal. We still have 1:12 on the clock, and we were just about to end this attack here. Beautiful timing on the freeze for that for the scatter shot and Expo, and the Royal Champ still with that ability intact. This is absolutely stunning and probably one of the most impressive super drag attacks I have seen yet. I think Ast is just definitely flexing his skill. We've known he's been one of the top super drag attackers since it came out into the mix, and he seems to never cease to impress us with how he can go about these strategies.
Yeah, but I feel like especially this attack was not all about the Super Dragons, even though they were the troop then to finish off the base, but just this entry with the bats, with the skeleton spell and the invisibility spell, really nicely deployed, that you got so much value. I mean, this is not every single day that you're getting the Clan Castle and Expo and 2 Inferno Towers with just those spells out of the way. And then, in addition to that, the most important defense, which is that Town Hall. You can take that out as well as with the Flame Flinger. That's like, I mean, you cannot ask for any more. So really, really nice opening. And after that, just the Super Dragons, because they're just one of the safest options to go through that without risking anything for us. And he's keep his perfect streak alive. And to be honest, if I remember correctly, I think all of the Strut players are actually perfect, except unfortunately, Boom right there over the Swiss stage at least. All of them had a crazy performance, as we have said earlier, or as we have seen earlier actually, 14.5 stars on average in those matches in the Swiss stage, which is crazy, the highest out of all of those teams. But now we have again Absolute Zero coming in, and they need to 3-star. They need to 3-star to keep the dream alive of maybe Strut somehow throwing the lead away or something. But yeah, the first thing which has to happen is Absolute Zero need to 3-star to keep that dream alive.
They definitely do, and they seem to be coming in with just amazing strategies and even excellent recoveries, and it is Komakun. So we just had the MVP for Strut, who kept his streak alive. Komakun, the MVP here for Absolute Zero, looking to keep his streak alive as well, and we've got it again. I mean, I think I have a hankering now for some jelly donuts once we finish this war. But we've got more of the Skelly Bat donut coming into the core of the base. So we look to take down the CC, but he doesn't get it done. Itsu, this is going to be detrimental to the opener, because typically we take these down to help with the hero push coming in or the position of the Lalo, and that CC still stands and is going to pose a huge threat.
Yeah, that's a big problem when you're investing so much into taking down that Clan Castle building, and you have especially no poison, and it's the worst Clan Castle for him as well. There is a Mass Headhunter and Superman in Clan Castle, which is the complete nightmare for any attacker if you don't have a poison. The Queen is, yeah, he needs to invest the freeze for the Headhunters, he needs to invest the freeze for the Super Minions, so things are not looking that good. But at the same time though, that Queen is having a really nice pathing right there. He's freezing again. Oh my goodness, he has no freezes left. He needs to take down that Town Hall. Is there a giant bomb? Then things could look bad, but the Queen might be able to take down the Town Hall. The Queen shooting once, shooting a couple of times and getting that Town Hall. And that was clutch.
Wow, just by the skin of her teeth gets that done. But the freeze investment means we don't have it for the scatter shots coming in, we don't have it for the multi on the back end, and we don't have it for the Queen and Eagle if need be. So the Stone Slammer has a lot of work to do, taking the lead here, and this is a massively widespread for the Loons, with not getting everything quite in, but the Stone Slammer at least gets into that Warden aura and tanks its way through. He's got to push his way along. Queen needs to go down fast, but looks like the Headhunter went flinging. So we need the Electro Owl to come in and help out here.
Yeah, and it's the defending queen which might have a chance of actually turning this into a defense, because considering that the entry looked not as good as promising as he was hoping for, this attack looks way too good. Komakun might be able to turn things around with that last defensive building going down, with the queen falling as well. 30 seconds left. And that's how MVPs look like. MVPs of Episode 0 getting things done. What an impressive comeback. The queen wrapping around back into that tunnel compartment was the big game changer. And I feel like we have seen this today many times actually, that those openings in the wall, especially on the Strut side, that the heroes and the smash in the first attack coming back to that town hall really was not good for the Strut team. So those openings, which are typically that good against those wall breakers, sometimes can really cost you big times, and that was the big reason why Komakun was able to recover this with such a clean Lalo attack.
Yeah, something for them to keep into consideration potentially for tomorrow's match, if they are able to make their way through, is potentially tightening that up. But you got to give it to Absolute Zero, because they have had some of the most clutch attacks coming in, and it's these beautiful recoveries that have gotten them this far. This is a strong team, a determined team, and again, This is why we are seeing these players fighting so hard, because of that $50,000 prize pool on the line and the coveted golden ticket, because the first place winner is not only going to walk away with $30,000 of that prize pool, but the golden ticket, the very first one, into the World Championships this year. Now, Yo-Yo still has the pressure on to perform, to try and pick up that 3-star, keep things moving, and try and maintain a lead for his team. So we have the queen charge, drag rider, and I notice the hogs, which makes me suspect we want to pull that CC out, get it a little bit deeper in so the queen can contend with it without too much damage coming through. So let's see if that's how he intends to bring it into play here as she pushes her way along.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right with that. He's trying to use those Hog Riders onto the Bitter Hut, and exactly what you said is about to happen. Luring out those Clan Castle troops. There's the rage, because again, we have super minions coming and approaching that queen. The freeze is there as well, because the queen is a lot of damage. You never underestimate a warden on defense. A warden on defense is really deadly to a queen. Unicorn is falling, but he's taking down the Clan Castle now. So I think it's for sure worth it. So the question now is then, obviously, where is he following? Where is he sending those Dragon Riders in? Because the Town Hall is about to fall at the moment. One thing which this queen does perfectly is she's dodging that Singer Fern Tower. She's staying out of range of that Singer Fern Tower, which is huge, which is clutch. And now the queen is about to take down the Town Hall. And now it's all about that he's starting his other heroes, because it's only 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
Yeah, so we've got the drag riders actually coming in from this 8 to 9 o'clock side of the base. I almost suspected coming in where the queen was because of the headhunters, but we can still reserve those, help the queen out as the queen took down the defending RC. Stone Slammer trying to keep this on course, and the king weaving his way in and out. If he can get into that eagle compartment, that would be huge, bursting through that ability. Queen still standing, will take on the defending AQ here and have a big push coming in. And we've got 2 invisibility spells that have yet to be used so far. Dropping it now for that queen to get her through the single targeting Inferno. Warden ability time perfectly to help get through the 12 o'clock compartment here and spare all those loons and drag riders. And those loons can pick up any additional traps along the way.
Yeah, that's right. With the king somehow ending up in the core of this base, the Royal Champion has to finish off the top side with that, with those Dragon Riders together. But time is ticking. 25 seconds left. But remember, he does not need to 3-star. 89% is enough for the win, and that should be it for sure. Another invisibility spell to keep that Royal Champion alive with her ability. 14 seconds to finish up for a 3-star. This is the win. This is the important percentage which he got. But is it a 3-star for his team and for himself to keep that perfect record? But I feel like time is just a little bit too much, and this means 14 to 14. But the percentage win for Strut in this epic face-off.
Yeah, this was exactly what they needed. I think they wanted to finish this off with a perfect war, but if you come 3% shy, how is that the worst thing possible? So this does mean that Strut does advance on. They will face off against Repotted Gaming tomorrow, which is going to be an interesting battle considering what we saw defensively from Repotted